Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Krishna Rukmini Jaya Satyabhama Krishna Rukmini Jaya Satyabhama Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Janmashnapad Paramhamsa Parvarishakacharya Ashtotar Chachishimar His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Krantara Srimad-Bhagavatam Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 5, Narada's instruction on Srimad-Bhagavatam. Text number 39. Imam Swanigamam Brahman. Imam Swanigamam Brahman. Imam Swanigamam Brahman. Avetya Mat Anushtitam. Avetyamadanushtitam. Avetyamadanushtitam. Adat me jnanam aishwaryam. Adan me jnanam aishwaryam. Adan me jnanam aishwaryam. Swasmin bhavam cha Keshavaha. Swasmin bhavam cha Keshavaha. Swasmin bhavam cha Keshavaha. Imam Swanigaman Brahman. Avityamadanushtitam. Adan me jnanam aishwaryam. Swasmin bhavam cha Keshavaha. Imam Swanigaman Brahman. Avityamadanushtitam. Adan me jnanam aishwaryam. Swasmin bhavam cha Keshavaha. Imam Swanigamam Brahman. Avityamadanushtitam. Aishwaryam. Swanigamam Brahman. Anushtitam. Adan me jnanam aishwaryam. Swanigamam Brahman. Avityamadanushtitam. Aishwaryam. Synonyms: Imam, thus. Swanigamam, confidential knowledge of the Vedas in respect to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahman, O Brahmana, Vyasadeva, Avetya, knowing it well, Mat, by me, Anushtitam, executed, Adat, bestowed upon me, me, Jnanam, transcendental knowledge. Aishwaryam, opulence. Swasmin, personal. Bhavam, intimate affection and love. Cha, and Keshavaha, Lord Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna I was endowed first with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, as inculcated in the conferential parts of the Vedas, then with spiritual opulences, and then with His intimate loving service. Translation with repetition. O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna I was endowed first with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, as inculcated in the conferential part of the Vedas, then with the spiritual opulences, and then with His intimate loving service. Purport. Communion with the Lord by transmission of the transcendental sound is non-different from the whole Spirit, Lord Krishna. It is completely perfect method for approaching the Lord by such pure contact with the Lord without offense of material conceptions. Numbering 10. The devotee can rise above the material plane to understand the inner meaning of the Vedic literature, including the Lord's existence in the transcendental realm. The Lord reveals His identity gradually to one who has unflinching faith, both in the spiritual master and in the Lord. After this, the devotee is endowed with mystic opulences, which are 8 in number. And above all, the devotee is accepted in the conferential entourage of the Lord, and is entrusted with the specific service of the Lord through the agency of the spiritual master. A pure devotee is more interested in serving the Lord than in showing an exhibition of the mystic powers dormant in him. Sri Narada has explained all this from his personal experience, and one can obtain all the facilities which Sri Narada obtained by perfecting the chanting process of the sound representation of the Lord. There is no bar for chanting this transcendental sound by anyone, provided it is received through Narada's representative, coming down by the chain of disciplic succession or the parampara system. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are seeing Srimad-Bhagavatam chapter 5th, Narada instructions to Srila Vyasadeva. So previous to this verse, if we see the context, actually Narada Muni is saying that one who chants the transcendental sound representation of Lord Krishna, he can immediately transcend all modes of material nature. And that is only the form of worship of the Lord. Especially in this age of Kali Yuga, if somebody chants, this transcendental sound, vibration of this Hare Krishna, that itself is actual worship rather than worshipping any other form. So this is what he had concluded in the last verse. So today, further, Sri Narada Deva is explaining that he's saying to Sri Vyasadeva that how he became the intimate associate of Lord Krishna. So it is very essential that Narada Muni is saying that he was first of all endowed with transcendental knowledge of the Lord, as it is given in the Vedic literature, then with the spiritual opulences, which are 8 in number, and then with his intimate loving service. So once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his South Indian yatra, so after he renounced his household family life, and we went to Jagannath Puri. So after coming to Jagannath Puri, for first few years, he traveled to the South India. So once it so happened that he came to Sri Rangam, and just to have the darshan of Lord Ranganatha. So there he came across one Brahmana devotee who actually, who was trying to read Bhagavad Gita. But this Brahmana, he was illiterate. He was not at all aware about, how to read, what is the Sanskrit shlokas, how exactly one should read about it. So he's unaware, but still he's trying to read. So by seeing this situation of Brahmana, some, people from neighborhood, they started criticizing him. See, this Brahmana, he's simply pretending to read Bhagavad Gita. Even though he's illiterate, he don't know anything, ABCD also. But still he's trying to read Bhagavad Gita. So he's actually pretender. So that in that way, they're trying to joke about him. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came across this Brahmana, he saw this Brahmana is reading Bhagavad Gita and there were tears in his eyes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not understand why he is crying, and at the same time he is reading Bhagavad Gita. So he very humbly asked this Brahmana that, "Oh dear Brahmana, I am seeing that you are trying to read Bhagavad Gita, and at the same time there are some tears in your eyes. So how is this? What is that thing which you are crying for that? What is the exact reason for this?" So this Brahmana devotee also could understand this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to ask from him very humbly. He is not trying to joke about him. So he humbly revealed his heart. See, actually I am illiterate Brahmana and I am trying to read Bhagavad Gita because my spiritual master has told me. My spiritual master has told me that every day I should read 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the instruction I have received from my spiritual master. So actually, spiritual master was knowing that this person is illiterate, but still he has given this order, which seems impossible to execute. But still this Brahmana, because this order has been given by my spiritual master, Guru, I accepted it, I am trying to execute it. So in that mode, he was trying to read Bhagavad Gita. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that is okay, I can understand that this order has been given by your Shri Krishna Arkumni Satya Bhama ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I can understand that you are trying to read Bhagavad Gita because your spiritual master has told you to study this. But I can see there are tears in your eyes. So what is the reason for that? So this Brahmana replied, very astonishingly, that he said, whenever I take this book of Srimad-Bhagavad Gita, actually immediately I remember Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna is sitting as a charioteer or Sarathi of Arjuna, and Arjuna is sitting behind him, Rathi. So I am seeing that Krishna, for the sake of his devotee, he has accepted a servant of menial servant. As a menial servant, he has accepted position just to serve his devotee. So I can understand how much Krishna is merciful. Just for the sake of pleasing his devotee, he has become his servitor or his servant. And that's why whenever I imagine this situation, whenever this picture comes in front of my eyes, tears start flowing in my eyes. So after hearing this realization, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu humbly, he embraced this Brahmana, saying that actually your reading of Bhagavad Gita is perfect. Others who are, even though they are scholar, even though they know many Sanskrit shlokas, but still they could not understand all the import of this Srimad-Bhagavad Gita. So, if we see this story, the very much, important point is actually this Brahmana, even though illiterate, but still he's trying to execute instructions given by his spiritual master, because he has full faith in the instruction of the spiritual master. So that is a very, very important point. If somebody want to achieve the perfection in the devotional service or in the spiritual life, one should have implicit faith in the Guru. And as a result of that, what has happened? Actually, even though he is illiterate, he cannot understand anything by his own endeavor, but still the knowledge within his heart has become revealed by Lord himself. Just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnana jamtama nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvataha. That means Krishna is saying, I seated within the heart of the devotee, I lamp the knowledge lamp, I light up the lamp of a knowledge and destroy all ignorance. So if devotee is sincere and he stick to the instruction of spiritual master, whatever the import of the Vedas are there, it will get automatically revealed to him. Which otherwise, the person who may be very scholar and who would have recited all sorts of Vedic literature, who would have studied all sorts of Upanishads, Puranas, everything, but still he will be unable to comprehend what is the essence of all this Vedic literature. So that pure devotional service becomes revealed to one who has implicit faith in the instruction of Guru. So, same fact is revealed here by Sri Narada Muni also. So Narada Muni also, he is recounting his childhood days, his previous life, in previous Kalpa of Brahma, that how when he was a child who born of a Shudra mother, and somehow or other he came in contact with the some Bhakti Vedanta devotees who were the pure devotees of the Lord. So just by coming in touch with them, he's a small 5 years old boy. What kind of knowledge does he know? He's not a big scholar. He don't have any knowledge of Sanskrit. He do not know any other he has not taken even education also. But still he became first class devotee. How? Just by serving these Bhakti Vedantis. He just tried to serve them manually, whatever possible, cleaning some floor for them, making seat arrangement for them, serving them. And at last, what happened? That he took their permission, can I honor remnants of the prasadam which are honored by you? So Bhaktivedantis also could see that this boy is very sincere. Even though he is illiterate, he is very, very sincere. So they also allowed, yes, you can have. So just after testing the remnants of those Bhaktivedantis, gradually his heart become, transformed. And that knowledge, that spiritual knowledge become revealed in his heart. So that's why if we simply stick to the service, to the pure devotees and try to execute their instruction, automatically actually perfection is guaranteed. So that is a very, very important point, to have implicit faith in the instruction of Guru and Krishna. So because just by sincerely serving, one achieves all the perfection in the devotional life. Just like one verse is there in Padma Purana, which says, Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaita katithanta prakashante mahatmanha. That means one who has implicit faith in Guru, all the knowledge of the Vedic literature gets revealed within his heart. See? So Narada Muni is explaining, first I got this transcendental knowledge as given in the Vedic literature by these Bhakti Vedantis. Then what happened? Then actually spiritual opulences. He got endowed, he got bestowed with all the spiritual opulences, which Prabhupada is saying here in the purport, which are all mystic opulences, which are 8 in number. So just like Anima, Anima Siddhi, Laghima Siddhi, Mahima Siddhi, Prapti, all this kind of 8 Siddhis are there. So automatically, when he achieved the perfection in this transcendental knowledge, and he was progressing in the devotional life, in the meantime, as a byproduct of that, he got endowed with all the 8 mystic opulences. Whereas there are some other personalities who try to achieve very hardly, very hard. They try to do some austerities and penances to achieve this 8 Ashtasiddhis. Just like if you take example of, let's say, Saubhari Muni. Saubhari Muni, he did tapasya for thousands of years. When he thought that there is some disturbances happening when I'm sitting on the land for meditation, he said, why not I shall enter into the waters and then I'll try to meditate. So then my mind will not become disturbed. But as a result, what happened? There also in the waters, in the Yamuna, he saw 2 fishes copulating, by which his mind became disturbed. Then again he fell into in the material entanglement. So the one who is specifically trying to achieve these 8 Ashtasiddhis, without keeping devotional service as ultimate goal of life, sure, at one point of time or other, he is sure to fail in that. So devotees are actually not interested in achieving all the 8 Ashtasiddhis, but they just sincerely want to serve and render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, because devotee think that what is the worth of this 8 Ashtasiddhis? What is the use of me for myself? It doesn't have any utility for me. But still, these 8 opulences get bestowed upon those devotees by mercy of Lord. Just to understand what is the worth of these mystic opulences, Prabhupada sometimes used to tell this interesting story. Once in a village there was one person who was very much fond of doing austerities and penances. So he had went to some part of country where there was forest and there was no disturbances. So almost for 10 years he performed severe penance and austerity, and by which he got the mystic power. So what was that mystic power? Mystic power was that he can walk on the water. That was his mystic power. So when he achieved this mystic power, he became very much proud. Oh, I have now this mystic power of walking on the water. Let me show it to others. So he came back to his village and he met his old friends, villagers, and he said, now actually, I have done meditation for almost 10 years and I have actually some powers by which I can walk on the water. So just to have display of this arrangement, all the villagers, they did grand arrangement. They called all the people. You see, actually our old friend, who went 10 years back for austerities has come back. And now he has achieved the very big mystic power. He can walk on the water. So all the villagers, being very innocent and they could not understand the intricacies of this yoga, they came and they wanted to see this performance. So all the villagers gathered, and this yogi also, he was at the bank of the river and he started crossing one bank to other bank of the river, and he started walking on the water. So by saying this, all the people got astonished, except one person. That person was old person. He had so much experience. So after this accomplishment of task, this person, old person, he met this yogi. He said, yes, what you have achieved is very nice. You can walk on the water. But as per my opinion, actually, this mystic power is worth of only 10 paisa. 10 paisa worth of mystic power. So he said, why? Why you are saying like that? So he said, you see, actually, you have spent 10 years of your life just to achieve this power of walking on the water. And what you have achieved by that, you have just crossed this river from one bank to other. Now I can give this same 10 paisa rupees to this boatman also. And I can also cross the river. So what is the major thing in this? There is nothing astounding actually. So all these kind of mystic powers, whatever are there in this world, now this might be little smaller. Even other mystic powers which may sound even more, astounding, they are also of same nature. What is their utility? Okay, there is some mystic power called anima or laghima, by which you can become smaller than the smallest or bigger than the biggest. But what is the use of that? Ultimately, all this mystic power, if a person who has who doesn't have the knowledge about devotional service of the Lord, and if he gets that power, for what purpose he will use? He'll simply use it for satisfying his senses. Same activities, eating, sleeping, mating and defending, just in a grand manner. So that is the only difference. So that's why the devotees are not very much hankering after these eight mystic opulences. But Lord, understanding their sincerity of the devotees, he automatically bestows them all the mystic power. Even Prabhupada recalls in some of his conversation that once some devotee, he was asking about, that there is some astounding mystic power, in so many animals also. So Prabhupada said, yes, if you see the frog also has some kind of mystic power. Because frog, he can remain buried underneath the ground for many, many days. Just like for us, if we get buried within the land, we cannot survive. Maximum 1 to 2 minutes we may survive and will leave our body. But frog has capacity, to remain buried within the ground for many, many days. So this is also one sort of mystic power. But what is the utility of that for us, for a sincere devotee? So actually it is of no use. So one more point we can understand from here. Actually Narada Muni, when he received this transcendental knowledge, he received it through the Bhakti Vedantis. Now who are these Bhakti Vedantis? They are also the pure devotees of the Lord. Pure devotees, and who are also in the Parampara. So he received the knowledge from the pure devotees, who are bona fide acharyas. So similarly, whatever people in general, when they want to understand the spiritual knowledge, actually they should try to receive this spiritual knowledge from authorized source, from the disciplic succession, from acharyas who are coming in these 4 sampradayas: Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, and Sri Sampradaya. So if one doesn't achieve the knowledge from these 4 parampara, then whatever the knowledge he has got, he may not reach to the right conclusion. He will go to some other conclusion. So that's why it is very, very essential to receive the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, from the right source and authority. Because there are so many upper sampradayas, they also have their own followers. They are also initiating their devotees, and they are also giving some mantras. But what Shastras are saying? That sampradaya vihina me mantraste nishphala mataha. That means a mantra which is not received from the bona fide source or from the disciplic succession is actually in vain. It is fruitless. You cannot achieve anything from that. You will not reach to the right goal or objective of your life. So that's why you can see Narada Muni, having received the transcendental knowledge from the Vedantist and having served them, he got initiated rightly in the right bona fide disciplic succession. So because of which he was endowed with the spiritual knowledge. And after endowed with spiritual knowledge, what happened? He was endowed with the loving devotional service. So there are the steps. So you can see here, Narada Muni, first he was bestowed with the transcendental knowledge, then with the spiritual opulences, and then at last with the loving devotional service. So just by rendering devotional service to the pure devotee, he can achieve the things which were not even possible by the great sages who executed so much severe austerities and penances for thousands of years. So that is the greatness of the devotional service. Even a small child, 5 years old child, he can also achieve perfection in this process if simply one accepts the instructions of the spiritual master and tries to execute as per his own capability. See? So he need not be great scholar. As per his own capacity, whatever possible, if he does that, he can also achieve the perfection. Otherwise, you do for millions of years this tapasya, get bestowed with all the 8 mystic opulences, and again to suffer again in this material world again and again. So there are many instances, even in Srimad-Bhagavatam also, that many devotees, all the pure devotees, they actually have all the mystic opulences. but they still did not use it. Just like if we take the example of Ambarish Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he was a big emperor, for the whole planet Bharatavarsha. And somehow or other, some Durvasa Muni came to his place, and Durvasa Muni, after when he came to his place, that time Ambarish Maharaj was doing fast, Ekadashi Vrata. So, and his time was there to break the fast, and at the same time he also came, and he received him very nicely. And after some formalities, the Durvasa Muni said, yes, I'll just go to the bank of river and I'll have my bath and other rituals. So he went to the bank of the river, he was taking his bath. And here Ambarish Maharaj was little anxious because his time for breaking the fast was passing away. So that time he suggested Brahmanas, his associate Brahmanas, what shall I do in this situation? Because when there is a guest in your house, first you feed them. If you receive them well, then only you should honor prasad. That is a Vedic etiquette. So understanding this, he asked Brahmanas, what shall I do in this situation? So he said, actually, now your time for breaking the fast is also passing. So better at least you take small amount of water. So in some way it is considered as a breaking the fast also, and plus not breaking the fast also. It is both ways, it is considered like that. So they found this in-between solution. So by agreeing to their suggestion, Ambarish Maharaj took little amount of water. And when Durvasa Muni came back from attending all his rituals and bathing ceremony and everything, he actually could understand that Ambarish Maharaj has taken water, without my permission, without my presence, he has taken water. So he became very much angry, furious, that how can you transgress this simple Vedic etiquette? And being angered, he generated, one big huge demon out of his hair. That kind of mystic power Durvasa Muni had. Durvasa Muni also had mystic powers. So he generated a big fiery demon out of his hair, and which started approaching towards Ambarish Maharaj. Now Ambarish Maharaj, if he sees response, he also had a mystic power, but he did not utilize any one of them. But simply instead what he did, he simply folded his hand and just remembered, Lord, just chanted his holy name. As a result, what happened? That fiery demon started chasing Durvasa Muni itself. So which had created to harm the Ambarish Maharaj. So Durvasa Muni could not escape from the influence of this demon. He started running in over the places in the universe. He went even beyond this universe, to the spiritual world also, seeking the shelter of Lord Narayana. At least you must save me. But still Narayana said, I cannot save you. If you want to get saved from Sudarshan Chakra destroyed the demon, and Sudarshan Chakra started chasing the Durvasa Muni. So in order to get relief from the Sudarshan Chakra, so he surrendered to Narayana. So he said, I also cannot give you relief. You must go to the Ambarish Maharaj, fell at his feet, and should beg his forgiveness. So when he came back and paid obeisances to Ambarish Maharaj, that time Sudarshan Chakra stopped pursuing. So we can understand from this incident, actually, for pure devotees like Ambarish Maharaj, there is no need of any mystic power. All their endeavor is just to simply remember the glories of the Lord, being always dependent on the Supreme Lord Krishna. If they simply do this one activity itself, Man manabho mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. If any person simply does this and try to always depend on Krishna, he will travel from all sorts of miseries of his life, very, very simply. Just like calf's hoof print. Calf's hoof print is very, very small. Hardly, even that if you pour some water, how much water it can accommodate? Very small quantity. So actually this material world is termed as a ocean of nescience, ocean of miseries. If one want to cross this ocean of misery, is very, very difficult. It's very, very impossible. But simply he can cross this ocean of misery if one accepts this devotional service process. That ocean of misery becomes to the size of calf's hoof-print water, how much it can occupy that. So that much pond of water, he can easily cross over that water. So that is the glory of devotional service. So simply by taking the shelter of his pure devotee and Krishna, one can achieve all perfection. So same process which previous acharyas, which Narad Muni is giving here to Vyasadeva in order to describe these things in Srimad-Bhagavatam, same process Srila Prabhupada also is recommending for all of us. What Srila Prabhupada has given, what Prabhupada has given is main 4 important instruction. One is to follow the 4 regulatory principle, chant 16 number of rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, do execute some devotional service, whatever the possible capable service from your end, for the pleasure of Lord will or Guru will accept very, very humbly that service, and just keep the association of the devotees. So just by following these 4 things, we also can achieve the same perfection which Narada Muni derived, just by sticking to the principle of devotional service, and sticking to the instruction of the great authorities, the Bhakti Vedantis. So let us, all of us also, let us try to follow the instruction which are given by Srila Prabhupada, and let us try to help in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So all of us regularly can chant this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we can also achieve the perfection and go back to Godhead. So we'll stop here. Krantara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Tai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.